Hello. Meow. Hi. Limbus Company. I don't know how to open streams. I've never known how to open streams. I just say words. I love that. Yeah, so we're replaying Intervallo 5.5-1 because they added hard mode to it and also voice lines. I don't know how to activate the hard mode actually. Oh, it's right here. Okay. I'm glad there's actually, you have to actually do them. As opposed to not. Like, to be honest, I was expecting it to just change the difficulty of the stages that already existed, but I guess that's not how that works. They're different stages. But yes, hello, I'm here. I know it's been a little bit since I streamed last. I don't really expect a lot from this, for the record. But we're gonna listen to the new voice and stuff, because, I mean, it is Christmas time, so we might as well, right? Anyways. How is everybody doing today? I've been doing nothing for, like, the past 2 weeks. I haven't been working on any videos or anything. I don't even really want to work on the ego video, if I'm being honest. Oh, you know what? Hold on. How do I go back without skipping all the text? Yeah, we'll go back through that in a second. I forgot I need to I need to pull for the new stuff. Yo, Coffee, thanks for the 10. Please don't tell me where you're going if you're leaving. But yeah, we need to first off, I'm gonna be playing Burn because I'm always playing Burn, which means I gotta equip Holiday on Heathcliff, which is fine. It's not very good anyways. But thank you, Coffee, I appreciate it. I forgot that the first thing I've got to do is actually extract things. As you can see, I have a lot of paid lunacy. I'm staying? Okay, fair enough. Now everybody's gonna be telling me, yeah, it's kind of probably stupid. I can't play the event because my laptop needs repair? That sucks. Everybody's like, it'll probably be pretty stupid to use all my pulls to get these ego right before full perk is knocked. Which, I agree, it is pretty stupid and I don't recommend that you do it. But unfortunately, I can't dispense these. And if I don't have them, I can't make a video on them. So... welcome everybody to my Christmas nightmare, using all of my tickets. Because I need both ego. How much you want to bet that I'm going to end up pulling to Pity to get at least one of them? That's just a 3-star, I don't care. I have all of them. At the very least, I'm gonna have a ton of shards. But... admittedly, this is not the best use of my resources. Oh my goodness. This is just my luck, by the way. This isn't anything outside the ordinary. Anyways, time to use my lunacy. Man pulling for ego? Yeah, why not? Somebody's got to make a video about them, right? I honestly don't even have much to say about them. Like, I saw them. I looked at them last night. They're fine. They're probably pretty good. This is painful? Correct. Well, we got one of them. The 1 week limit applies to all seasonal IDs and ego from here on out. And these are seasonal, so... There, we got one. Now we need the other one. At least you can't pull duplicates of ego, so if we get an ego, we know we got it. It's the cooler one? Probably true, actually. Bruh. Literally the lowest odds out of everything, man. Okay. The Sleepy Ishi is so cute. So here's the thing, right? I need 70 more? Man. I am actually gonna have to spend money for Volberga's Knock, probably, but that's fine. That's a 3-star? I already got you once today, Ishmael. I don't need you again. Okay, there we go. We didn't quite get to pity, but I did get them both. Ishmael. There we go. 150. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. Though I do only have 16,000 lunacy now. Vault funds went bye-bye. Like, okay, so here's the thing. To get to 200 pulls, you need 26,000 lunacy. Check this out. What the heck is this? You can obtain the following items from this Intervallo release commemorative pack. Take off module, ego spinning key. Why is it... Okay. I didn't even know these were here. Up to 4 now? I will. I might as well go over them. I have them after all. I didn't know that there were special winter-themed packs. Anyways. Yeah, it's like... If I haven't done the math, but like $33 for 50 pulls here. What's the equivalent? I guess it would be comparing it here. I don't know why there's not a first-time offer on some of these, honestly. Yeah, it's actually cheaper to get these. No. To get these things than it is to get the other ones. 16 bucks for an Uptype 4 Ego? Yeah, I know, that seems a little steep for that. This is probably a good deal. Like, comparing it to this, which is one more, it's like $11 less. So, anyways, yeah, let's check them out. Again, I looked at these last night. They're kind of underwhelming, but at the same time, they're both probably very good. You know, I'm actually only like 15 ego short of having everything uptied. Anyways, Christmas Nightmare Ishmael. 12 to 22 rolling ego that hits 3 targets by default is pretty strong. Just general. Has a damage conditional. It's tied to target SP, which is a little awkward, but not ever something that's ever going to be bad. You gain tremor count based on your highest resonance. If there's targets in staggered, low SP, or panic states, you heal exactly 10 SP. Which is not HP now that I'm looking at it, which is cool. So after... we're gonna have this discussion. The ego costs 20. There's nothing that factors into this cost except the number written here. This is the cost. Refunding your SP does not factor into the cost. Okay? This ego costs 20 and then gives you 10 back. Inflicts 5 tremor count and then bursts tremor twice, reducing the target's tremor count by 2, and then it bursts tremor again, reducing it by 1. So effectively, you're inflicting 2 tremor count with bursting 3 times, which is very, very powerful. The inflict 5 sinking is very arbitrary. You really don't need that there at all. You could write deal 5 SP damage on the second hit, and it would mean effectively the same thing. So that part doesn't really matter. The corrosion has 5 weight, which is really funny. Heals 10 HP for some reason. And also heals more SP potentially. Wasn't listening to voice. The ego basically costs 10 SP. I'm gonna find you. And then it bursts tremor 4 times, but that eats basically all the tremor count that it inflicts. So, you know, it's not a bad skill at all. Passive, allies gain 1 more tremor count from skill or coin effects up to 2 times per turn. We knew there was going to be a limit to this, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter that there's a limit to this. So, it's just good. Especially if the target is staggered, you gain 2 more instead. It doesn't stack with ego gifts, which is interesting because there were no ego gifts. Anyways, yeah, that's basically my opinion of this one. If we go to Greg... if we go to Gug, I gotta call him the correct thing. I'm actually not gonna adjust these sets because I think I'm gonna be playing Tremor for this anyways. We've got an ego to thread spin. Regret AoE spam. You know? Boom. There you go. Gug. So the cool thing about Greg's is that it hits 5 by default. This is basically a better 4th match flame, but it's Tremor instead. Same damage conditional. Rolls 12 to 20, which is not bad. Heals 15 SP at turn end and gain an attack power up if you're at max HP. Which he probably will be. This game isn't that hard. Then he heals a bunch of HP on the second hit. Whoa! Oh, 30% per skill. This is pretty much always going to be 30%. If you have a highest resonance of 2 and hit 5 targets, you're healing 25% of your max HP. Meaning, you only need a highest resonance of 3 to get the full healing out of this, which is a lot of healing. And then you inflict attack power down and fragility based on your resonance. The He Ego costs 20 SP. If you use it at negative 25, you will be at negative 45 at the end of the skill. Are there any 1-coin egos with coin reuse? Are there any 1-coin egos with coin reuse? That's a good question. I actually don't know. Because Wingbeat has 2 coins. So it's not that one. You know, I actually don't think there are. Pretty much all the reuse ones have multiple coins. But yeah, this is actually, like, insanely good for damage, for the record. It's just very strong. Now, is it as good as Solemn Lament? No, probably not. But again, that's locked behind Walpurgis Nacht, so you probably won't have it at all times. Corrosion is, like, exactly the same, so there's really no point in going over it, really. It gives you more SP at turn end, if you're at max HP, though. Because it costs more, obviously. If you use the ego at a point where you would hit negative 45, then you lose all of it, because you can't heal SP once you hit negative 45 SP, outside of very specific circumstances. Passive, inflict 1 offense level down or 1 defense level down to all enemies. Number of enemies in staggered, low morale, or panic states times 2 times per turn. So basically, if you have 2 enemies that are staggered, all enemies get 2 offense level down and defense level down. Because this isn't worded particularly well. So that's the easiest way to look at it. It's not 2 enemies picked randomly get 1 and 1. It's all enemies get 2 and 2. At maximum effect, anyways. But yeah, that's the new egos. They're both pretty decent. We might as well play Tremor since this is Tremor stuff, you know? Plus, this way I get to equip and uptie Threadspin Holiday. What am I missing? Some Heathcliff shards. I mean, like, I don't want to uptie this because it's not very good, but I will. Because it's the holiday season, why not? How many do I need? 19? That's 10. Okay. I see. Thank you. God. Why are you like this? Branch of Knowledge makes your SP at negative 45, then heals to negative 35, then you corrode. Okay, well that's just a weird scenario. I mean, I don't really care about the Abno name, I'll be honest. Like, it doesn't make that much of a difference, in my mind. What do you mean, bruh? This ego is bad. We've been over this. I don't need to explain myself. Also, I probably don't want to use Fell Bullet, but at the same time, my alternative is AEDD. Does it feel better? Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Tremor Greg. There's not a good Tremor Greg as part of the issue, so I guess we're taking Spy. Which is fine. Hold on, why do I have Bygone Days equipped? That's actually probably fine. No. Is this correct? I guess so. Like, I don't have Snag Harpoon max uptie because I don't. That is all. Roast Banner is good? Not really. Like, even in Tremor, he's not that great. That ID is just kind of mid at best, if I'm being honest with you. Why did they give a Tremor ego to Gregor? Why does Hong Lu have a Poise ego? As our voyage on the Great Lake extends, the list of things to keep the sinners entertained grows ever smaller. In a way, it sounds like a serious problem, but...
뭐 재미있는...
있는 일 따윈 없다. 30번째 똑같은 말을 하는 것도 재주군. 혹시 말을 한 뒤에 곧바로 까먹기라도 하는 거라면...
정확히는 28번째. 30번이 채워지면 후두보에 손상이 있던 건 아닌지 확인하려던 참이었다.
Okay. I do not remember the story of this chapter.
안다고 알아. 얼마나 지루하면 내가 이러겠어. 할 게 없으니까 이러지. 100개만 게임도 이제 질렸다고.
잘 됐네. 그러면 이 갈매기 밥 주는 거랑 꼬박꼬박 해줘. 너희들이 다 질려서 내가 도맡아하고 있잖아.
I'm gonna get all of the rewards from the event.
그러게.
어차피 호수를 벗어나면 원래 살던 곳으로 돌려보낼 거면서 왜 그렇게 정을 붙인 거예요?
아, 출근하잖아. 눈빛이 좀...
그냥 갈매기의 눈빛인데요.
It was abundantly clear that the sinners were starting to slowly expire from sheer boredom. Well, it's not really a problem that has a solution, and I had zero interesting stories to tell considering that I'm an amnesiac, so all I could do was sit here and watch the sinners suffer. Putting them through the daily trials of the mirror dungeons wasn't the most exciting activity either. That's only become more true as time has gone on. Speaking of which, Heathcliff appears to be the one least affected by this mess. Well, not that he was all calm and aloof, that is. I'd say he's anxious.
저기 베르길리우스.
A frosty silence descended upon the sinners. And the source of that frost was the inexplicable event that played out before our eyes.
히스클리프? 미쳤나요? 드디어?
면담의 부작용인가? 겁대가리 상실증 그런 거야?
Heathcliff.
좀 다물어봐. 미친 것도 아니고 겁대가리 사라진 것도 아니니까.
제법이군, 히스클리프. 이 기행을 지나오면서 지금 이 순간만큼 놀라운 일은 드물었는데. 말해, 왜 나를 불렀지?
다음으로 가는 건 T사 맞지?
내가 굳이 대답해야 하나?
Well, I mean, if he hasn't said it yet.
당신 알잖아. 내가 왜 이러는지.
뭐 조급해하지 않아도 된다. 이놈이나 저놈이나 그걸 잘 못하는 것 같지만 흐름대로라면 네 약속에 늦는 일은 결코 없을 테니.
He was always wifeless. Let's be real. Since I had no context for any of that, all I could do was sit here and watch as Heathcliff scratched the back of his head. I'm still out of the loop, but Heathcliff must be really anxious about something if he's willing to talk to Virgilius first. And after all that...
아니, 약속보다 중요한 게...
Heathcliff turned and around to face us.
야, 너네들 중에 혹시 뭐 T사랑 관련된 놈 손 좀 들어봐.
손 들었어.
네.
알다시피 과거에 T사에 잠시 살았던 적은 있소만.
아니, 당신은 지나왔잖아. 그럼 역시
It's just...
있으면.
Stuns me, PM has recognized that Mirror Dungeon is boring to people after a while and still haven't made another game mode. Yeah, I know, right?
하지만 아직도 이 정신 나간 호수 한가운데가. 시계대가리, 지금이 며칠이더라?
How would I know?
뭐? 시계 달고 있는데 왜 날짜를 몰라?
But clocks and calendars are completely different things.
아우 히스 한숨만 벌써 30번째야. 버스 바닥 좀 확인해봐. 쟤 때문에 움푹 파였을 것 같으니까.
말해요, 히스클리프. 그쪽의 차례가 온 거죠? 무엇이 됐든 준비가 필요한 거고요.
이 정도면 뭐 숨길 것도 없겠네.
After some time,
그러니까 요약하자면 아무래도 이스마엘 다음은 히스클리프 차례인 것 같고 그 근거가 될 만한 물건을 저번 면담 때 베르길리우스에게 전달받았고 그 물건에 의하면 T사에 갈 때 멋지게 차려입을 옷이나 꾸미는 작업이 필요한데
계속 고수에 떠 있으니까 마음이 초조해져서 대체 어떻게 해야 할지 모르겠다는 거군요.
그래, 그러니까
근데 아니 그건 뭐 육지에 내리거나 해야 해결할 수 있는 일 아닌가?
It's not really laziness. I don't feel like.
아우, 뭘 그런 걸 가지고 얼을 타고 있어. 헬스, 육지에만 내리면 그런 건 내가 도와줄 테니까 걱정하지 말라고.
애초에 육지에 언제 내릴 줄 알고.
단테, 수감자들의 예정된 업무 시간에 도달했습니다.
Huh? Oh, yeah. I hereby confirm today's close of business for the sinners. I reflexively said my usual routine piece as the light alarm played.
뭐 별일도 아니야.
피가 낭자한 단막극이라도 볼 수 있을 줄 알았건만.
뭐 대드는 게 아니었다는 건 다행이네요.
No. The sinners each got up from their seats, yawned and stretched, and one by one disappeared into the back door.
이게 대가리만 없는 게 아니라 눈치도 없었던 거냐?
What? Sorry. But Gregor isn't completely wrong, is he?
말이라도 좀.
Virgilius and Coron also walked into the back door, mocking grins on their faces. And I was left alone in the ship's cabin, standing awkwardly next to severely crestfallen Heathcliff. Oh. Wait, there was another.
히스클리프군!
너는 왜 여기 남아 있냐? 가서 T사에서만 만날 수 있다는 해결사 나으리들에 대해 떠들러 가야지.
그런 거야 나중에 해도 충분하오. 그보다 히스클리프군, 내게 잘 보이는 것이 좋을 거요.
이게 뭐라고?
잠시만! 이야기가 안 끝났어. 관리자 나리와 이리로 조용히 오게나.
What? Don Quixote wore a confident smile. She slowly, gingerly walked over to presently and temporarily vacant Caron's seat. And whispered ever so silently to us.
본인에게 기가 막힐 수가 있다네.
Like, there's warnings on the story-only segments, like they're going to be more difficult too.
그래서 기가 막힌 수라는 건 뭐냐?
I don't think there were words in this world expressive enough to describe that look on Heathcliff's face. I was certain that he had very scant expectations for Don Quixote and her plans, but there was the sliver of hope in his face that maybe, just maybe, Don Quixote might rise to the occasion for once. It was unclear whether Heathcliff's internal struggle mattered much to Don Quixote, however. She began excitedly describing her plan.
히스클리프군, 그대는 제바제 협회 출신인 아주 옛날에 존재했던 전설의 해결사 붉은 주머니를 아시는가?
I didn't know that Devyat Association was mentioned in this interval.
붉은 뭐 베르길리우스 같은 그런 거냐?
붉은 주머니는 조수인 사슴맨과 함께 도시 곳곳을 누비며 어떠한 가혹함이 있는 곳이더라도 반드시 배달 업무를 해냈다고 전해지네.
Where's Reindeer Man?
특히 크리스마스엔 어떤 대가도 받지 않고 도시의 착한 아이들에게 선물을 나누어 줬다고 하지. 해결사 잡지에서 매년 겨울의 표지로 등장하시는 분이건만 어찌 모르는가?
The red sack, as opposed to not red. Don Quixote asked, sounding genuinely shocked to learn that Heathcliff did not know of this red sack.
내가 그런 걸 왜 보냐?
어허! 그런 거라니! 관리자 나리, 그대는 들어보았겠지?
I knocked on my ticking clock head. I didn't really feel the need to spell it out for her.
결국 아무도 구독하지 않았단 말인가? 그렇게 부르짖으며 자네들에게 열심히 홍보했건만. 아무튼 중요한 건 우리 히스클리프 군이 누구에게도 꿀리지 않을 빼어나고 멋들어진 단장을 해야 한다는 점 아니겠는가?
이제야 이야기가 본론으로 들어가네. 계속해봐.
It's the event before Canto 6, guys. Can you believe it, guys? Canto 6 only a week away.
본인은 아주 잘 알고 있네. 그 꽃단장을 참고할 최고의 롤 모델이 바로 붉은 주머니와 조수 사슴맨의 복장이란 걸.
Wasn't this like 4 months before Canto 6 started?
아, 느낌 싸한데. 그 석양의 어쩌고들 같이 괴상한 옷을 입은 거 아니냐?
Huh? What is this in reference to? I genuinely do not know.
전혀 괴상하지 않네. 그리고 석양의 해결사 코스프레를 해주지도 않았으면서 어떻게 그리 말할 수 있는가? 제대로 입어보지도 않고 그런 말을 하면 안 되는 것이란 말이네.
Yes, this intervallo is basically immediately after Canto 5 finishes.
되게 거들먹거리길래 혹시나 했는데 또 그놈의 해결사 어쩌고 하는 헛소리냐? 지금은 그럴 힘도 없으니까 일단 5대 달아놔라.
Wahoo. When the silver of hope on Heathcliff's face was beginning to rapidly fade.
지금까지 보아온 해결사들은 어떠했는가?
뭐?
해결사들이 우스꽝스러웠는가? 떠올리시게 오히려 멋지고 정돈된 차림이 아니었는가? 눈과 마음을 열고 단호하게 말해보시게.
K사에서 봤던 그 쫄쫄이는 다시 생각해도 웃긴데?
아니! 지금 브리티시는 우습지 않소. 그 코스튬 멋있잖소. 그 소재에 대해 말하자면
This face does not signify that emotion very well. I'm starting to realize. And yeah, he was pretty embarrassingly dressed.
실례했소. 에이? 돌아오시오, 히스클리프군. 네, 아직 말이 안 끝났단 말이오.
오늘따라 왜 이렇게 팔팔한 거야?
물론 지크프리트 씨 같은 스페셜한 분도 있지만 대부분의 해결사는 멋있게 차려입고 무엇보다 고귀하지 않았는가?
고기? 그건 잘 모르겠고 그럴싸한 옷을 입고 있는 사람도 있었던 것 같기도.
바로 그거요. 본인을 잘 따라와주기만 한다면 그들의 멋있는 복장을 그대로 채워낼 수 있어.
그런가? 아이 젠장. 반박하려고 해도 내가 옷이나 꾸미는 거에 대해 뭘 알아야지. 그래서 그런 옷들을 어디서 구하는데? 솔직히 아까 다른 놈들이 말한 대로 육지에 가기 전에 뭘 구하기도 어렵잖아.
Look, Don's VA has always been fantastic. I just don't like the character.
본인이 다 그것까지 생각하여 말하는 것이네. 어제 이 버스 안에 경보가 울렸던 것을 기억하는가?
Now that I think about it, there was a siren yesterday. It went off not long before I announced the close of business for the day. But Faust said that the backdoor volatility wasn't anything for us to worry about.
본인은 궁금했네. 도당체 파우스트군은 무엇을 보고 그렇게 판단하는지. 그래서 다들 뒷문으로 들어가려 소란스러울 때.
How many Fausts do you think we're gonna end up fighting in Canto 12?
조심스럽고도 은밀히 이 몸 홀로 앞으로 나아가 그 화면을 들여다보고 말았지.
So you took a peep at the screen.
그 복잡한 기호들을 네가 알아먹을 수 있다고?
본인도 알아챌 것이라는 생각을 갖고 들여다본 것은 아니었다만 거기에 있었던 문양은 의외로 추측하기 쉽더군. 바로 붉은 주머니와 사슴맨의 상징, 그리고 멋들어진 옷을 의미하는 문양이 있었던 게지.
I don't see one that looks like a reindeer.
그렇게 간단할 리가.
Yeah, no, it can't be that simple. I agree with Heathcliff. However, Don Quixote remained enthusiastic as ever, as though she was already expecting him to say that.
알고 있는가? 뒷문 안에 있는 무수한 문들에는 문양이 종종 나타난다는 것을.
뭐?
쉬러 갈 때마다, 지나칠 때마다, 생각날 때마다 본인은 그걸 유심히 지켜보았지. 그리고 바로 어제 그 화면에 나타났던 문양과 완전히 같은 것이 있는 문을 복도에서 찾았네.
Don Quixote, you didn't.
미안하네, 관리자 나리. 본인에게 잘못이 있다면 이 끓어오르는 모험 기질을 죽이지 못한 것일 테지. 하지만 그 문을 아주 잠깐, 아주 살짝만 열고 내부를 관찰했을 때
Incredible.
본인의 모든 추리와 추측이 마저 떨어졌다는 말을 듣는다면 정상 참작을 부탁할 수 있지 않겠는가?
대체 이 새끼는 하지 말라는 걸 왜 자꾸 하는 거야?
Right, Heathcliff. I just don't understand why some people keep doing things that everyone tells them not to. I remember when Heathcliff ignored all warnings and went into the restricted areas past the area of the corridor that we're allowed to use. We almost lost Heathcliff that day. It was a tad different this time, however. Back then, Heathcliff had no idea what was beyond that door. And this time we do. Are you suggesting that we call everyone over to explore that place?
아니, 우리 셋으로 족하지 않겠는가? 셋이면 딱 적당하다네. 모든 이야기는 항상 셋에서 시작하지.
So true. All tales do begin with a party of three. You're just scared of the consultation, aren't you?
무슨 소린지 모르겠군.
The answer to this predicament was right there. Tell them that it's too dangerous and shove them back into their respective rooms to rest up for tomorrow.
관리자 나리, 그 안은 정말 평화로운 것 같아 보였어. 우리는 그저 히스클리프 군이 입으로 몇 벌을 가지고 나오면 그만일 뿐이지 않은가?
It was obvious that Don Quixote wasn't helping Heathcliff out of pure kindness of heart. Maybe she hungered for an adventure, or maybe she thought that she might be able to do that cosplay of the fixers she so admired. But if we can find Heathcliff some nice clothes to put his heart at ease, then maybe I can do something about this before things get out of control, like it did last time when I just let a sinner's anxiety stew and exacerbate. Fine, but we're turning around at the first sign of danger. We love robbery.
진심으로 한.
Come on. You were willing to do it if it meant that you could pick up some clothes.
뭐 시계 대가리까지 붙으면 괜찮겠지.
Imagine if we just left them in there, by the way.
잘 결정했어. 그럼 오늘 밤 관리자 나리의 방문 앞에서 우리가 문을 똑똑똑똑 하고 두들기면 나리께서는 암으로
들어가라.
I really hope this won't be a waste of time. We agreed on a precise time before returning to our respective rooms. We are having the Big C return for Honglu. Who's the Big C? An unexpected journey. Oh yeah, you gotta do this within 10 turns, huh? Well, we're playing Tremor, so
챙기고 징수 곡괭이 챙기고.
입회한다.
let us go. Distort a woman. Okay, fair enough. A dark, silent night. All are sound asleep.
모두 모였는가?
가서 별거 없기만 해봐.
한치의 거짓도 없다네. 자, 이쪽으로.
Sorry, I haven't gotten over yawning at every opportunity. We quietly and sneakily followed Don Quixote, taking care to not make a noise. Are we really crossing this line?
아이씨, 내가 이거 넘었다가 어떻게 된 줄 모르냐?
본인은 다르네. 그저 이 선 넘어 오른쪽 복도를 조금만 따라가서 바로 앞에 있다면.
Are we being secretive about her name? It's been said before. I don't know. So these are the symbols she was talking about. Past the door, through the window, the symbol. I can't believe I never noticed that before. It's past the door, through the window, the symbols Don Quixote mentioned shimmered. Symbols that seemed to indicate a sack, a wrap present, and what appeared to be fancy clothes. So they're the red sack and the reindeer man's symbols?
바로 그렇네.
다른 건 몰라도 네 녀석이 이런 걸 헷갈릴 린 없겠지.
Alright. Huh? Hold on. Before I even had a chance to stop him, Heathcliff barged into the door. And we found ourselves almost getting dragged in by sheer force, by his sheer fervor.
오,
We found ourselves in a rather sizable room. This place was decorated with numerous Christmas-themed ornaments. Warm, cozy lighting reflected off the wooden flooring, and a maze of conveyor belts were installed all over the place. This place is a factory?
그러하네.
저것들은 또 뭐냐? 조그마한 꼬맹이 같은 게.
이보게! 이 돈키호테가 왔네!
이 새끼 뭐 하는 거야?
The little figures Heathcliff indicated didn't exactly look like children. They all froze for a moment before turning around in our direction. They weren't humans, that's for sure.
아, 가만히 있어 보게. 본인이 다 이야기해둔 것들이 있다네.
What happened to the sneakiest of peaks?
야, 시계 대가리. 뭐가 온다.
A small, but larger than others around it, figure scurried over and stood before us.
아이고, 돈키호테 나으리가 오셨음. 이번에도 예상하지 못했던 곳에서 갑자기 뿅 나왔음.
Who's this, Don Quixote?
우리에게 멋진 선물을 주실 분일세.
He rubbed his hands, or what I assumed to be hands, together, looked up at us, and started.
반갑숨. 돈키호테 나으리의 친구 되시는 분들인가 보. 저는 도도루라고 하옴. 이 선물 공장에서 선물을 만드는 일을 하는 놈이움.
A gnome?
그렇네. 놈일세.
Was that supposed to be obvious? What are gnomes, anyway? So they're not humans, right?
그렇소. 이들은 사람이 아니라 놈이니까 말이오.
Why?
그렇다움. 인간은 아닌 것이오. 헤음헤음.
도시엔 인간만 있을 수 있다고 들었던 것 같은데.
They're not abnormalities or distortions either. There's something else.
도시? 역시나.
뭐 사람인지 아닌지가 중요하겠는가? 중요한 건 어떤 마음으로 어떤 일을 하는가일세.
맞는 말씀이용 나으리.
No, to be fair, Coffee, I already kind of knew that. Didn't that Dodoru gnome say something weird about the city just now?
나만 그렇게 느낀 거 아니지?
그보다움.
This Dodoru cut in our conversation.
친구분들께서는 원하시는 선물이 있으신지요? 이를테면 멋진 옷이라던가 강력한 무기라던가 맛있는 과자도 있다옴.
멋진 옷? 있는 거냐?
관심 가는 게 있으신 거였나 보? 자자자자, 그럼 잠시 이쪽으로.
The gnome said something about introducing us to the reception hall and led us to a certain room in his scurrying gait. This seems more like a storage space than a reception hall.
여기 따뜻한 벽난로도 있고 탁자도 있고 참으로 따뜻하고 아늑한 공간이로군.
거기에 더해 맛있는 다과도 준비해 두었음. 조금만 기다리시면 금방 원하시는 선물을 가져다 드리겠습니다.
The gnome bowed, opened the door, and scuttled out of the room. A reception hall's usually this barren. I've never been in one before, so I had no idea if this was what they were supposed to look like. I had to ask. Especially because it was starting to get pretty obvious, even with my rather limited experience, there was something off about this whole situation.
요새는 이런 감성도 유행이라는 말을 들은 것 같소.
Sure, Don.
나도 들은 적 있어. 뭐 공사 하다가 만 것 같은 곳에 대충 물건 몇 개 쌓아두는 게 더 인기가 있다던데.
Is that what this is?
관리자 나리는 마음 놓으시게. 본인이 책임지고 멋진 선물을 받아낼 것이니.
여차하면 들고 나를 수도 있을 거고 슬쩍 보니 번쩍번쩍한 게 고급스러운 물건들을 포장하는 것 같았다고.
도둑질은 안 돼요. 벌써 헤어 쿠폰 데이를 잊었는가?
알았어.
Heathcliff was as foul-mouthed as always, but it was evident from his relaxing expression that his anxiety was starting to ease. Maybe the fact that we're here, about to find what we're looking for, was a comforting thought. Heathcliff, is it that important that you dress well for this occasion? A rather delicate but gently smoldering hearth, calm, silent air, a perfect atmosphere to bring up uncomfortable subjects for some honest heart-to-heart. Or is someone waiting for you there? Someone who you'd like to dress up for?
뭐 아예 틀린 말은 아니긴 한데.
비밀 이야기인가?
Don Quixote excitedly and loudly dragged her chair up close to Heathcliff.
나는 보란 듯이 성공해서 돌아가야만 해.
Wouldn't it have been nice for this to amount to something, by the way? It didn't really amount to anything during that story.
적어도 예전에 굴러먹던 그 망나니 히스클리프라고 생각할 수는 없도록. 그러니까 고급스럽고 멋진 옷으로 그럴싸하게 보이는 건 내게 엄청 중요한 거라고.
누군가 그대를 배 아프게라도 했는가?
Is this about revenge, like Ishmael? And it's literally right there. Heathcliff leaned back on his chair and creaked as he rocked gently back and forth. There was a look of deep introspection on his face, which was, if my memory serves me right, a first.
뭐 복수라면 복수겠네. 근데 후회하게 해주겠다. 그게 더 맞는 것 같아. 나는 거기서 날 무시했던 놈들도 죄다 짓밟아 줄 거야. 나를 선택하지 않았던 걸 땅을 치고 후회할 수밖에 없도록. 사실은 누구보다도 어울리는 사람이었다는 걸 캐시에게 증명할 거라고.
Kathy. Heathcliff's eyes tremble as little as he speaks her name. He's mentioned that name before. His eyes trembled then, too. This Kathy must be somebody pretty important to you.
당연하지. 무진장 중요하지.
So, what happened between the two of you? Between you and Kathy?
정확히 말하면 캐서린이지. 캐시라고도 부르는 거고. 길고 골치 아픈 이야기야.
이 돈키호테의 감히 그 사람이 히스클리프군의 연인이라고 외치고 있어.
Wait, is that what she is to you?
아니야. 그런 것까지는 아니야. 그렇다고 볼 수도 있을지도. 모르지만.
He's stuttering like Sinclair on a bad day. While his disposition was as brusque as always, I could clearly see that he couldn't stop himself from smiling from mere mention of her name, and that gave me more than enough answers. Every sinner had a reason for joining Limbus Company, so maybe Heathcliff joined Limbus Company for this Kathy person. Makes me wonder what kind of a person she might be, though. Someone that special, that precious to Heathcliff.
왜 그렇게 아련한 말투냐? 징그럽게.
Personally, I recommend using your boxes on whichever ID you think would give you the most entertainment. Whichever one is best doesn't really matter. This game is easy. Use what you like. Now, I do this not out of my obligations as the manager, but I'm starting to think that I want to help you out, so that you could be the best man you can be for her.
그렇소. 다 함께
Don,
멋쟁이가 돼.
I heard a door open in that very moment. It wasn't the reception hall door, the one that was made of wood, and wouldn't make that sound that I just heard. By the way, I just noticed... I mean, this is the door that the gnomes are coming through, but this looks a lot like a door to the bus. The sound came from over there, away from us, from a dark corner of the room. Then we heard sounds of metal scraping against wood. It was accompanied by a howling blizzard. So those were sleigh marks, huh? The huge sleigh made its way across the wooden floor on the marks that were already on the floorboards. It was flanked by several gnomes. The sleigh was red, and the sacks on it were either black or red. But they were all littered with flesh and blood.
도도로. 다음 선물 재료를 갖고 왔음.
아휴, 허리가 다 쑤숑. 조금만 참으라옴. 그래도 선물 받을 친구들을 생각하면 뿌듯해서 고생은 금방 잊지 않겠소.
Fun fact, the red one is voiced by Ryoshu's voice actor.
맞음.
The gaggle of gnomes who were walking in our direction as they chattered and gossiped froze in place upon noticing us.
왜 농땡이를 피고 있는 것이오?
거기서 수다 떨지 말고 좀 도우라옴. 이번엔 양도 많고 몇 마리는 살려서 데려왔다옴.
I think I saw some sacks on the sleigh move. No, they were thrashing, like something was trying to escape. Is that?
야, 모기 잡아라.
왜 그렇게 심각한 얼굴인 겐가? 저들은 그저 열심히
Don.
일을... 거기 누가 있는 거죠? 살려주세요! 여기서 꺼내줘요! 기쁘고 신나는 날이요. 이놈은 싱싱한 놈인데 다음.
그런데 저것들 인간인가 봄. 도도로 실장이 잡아온 건가요? 어디서 저렇게 멀쩡하게 인간을 데려온 거지요?
자네들 설마...
I could hear a familiar voice coming from the other door in the room as Don Quixote stood there flabbergasted.
도도루가 실수를 저질러 버렸음. 저것들을 다른 창고로 보내야 했는데 말이오. 너무 신경 쓰지 마시라움. 놈들끼리 하는 재밌는 놀이일 뿐이요. 아무 의미 없음.
That's your excuse?
도도루공,
도도루 듣고 있음.
저 주머니에 들어있는 게 무엇인가?
그냥 선물 재료일 뿐인 것이오. 그나저나 돈키호테 나으리 요청하셨던 멋진 옷들을 제가 준비해 놓았단 말이오. 지금 바로 입으러.
그 재료라는 게 뭐란 말인가?
도도로 거짓말하기 지쳤음. 인간이잖아, 인간. 니놈들 같은 인간. 너희들 다른 창고로 들이라고 내가 나갈 때 말했음. 우리 공장 장난감 선물을 기다리는 많은 이웃에게 실망만 배송하고 싶은 것인가옴?
미안하오.
I don't know who voiced the other two for the record. I just know the red one is Ryoshu.
공장장님께 기대하시라고 그렇게나 말했는데요.
What was I thinking? This was absolutely not worth it.
네가 하는 생각 나도 똑같이 하고 있으니까 그딴 한숨 쉴 거면 어떻게 싸워야 할지 고민이나 한 번 더 하라고. 알았냐?
Yeah, sitting here and feeling sorry for myself won't do anything. It never did. Got it.
모두 도구 꺼내라움. 이것이 바로 산지 직송 아니겠음?
그래, 시원하게 덤벼라 이 땅꼬마 괴물들아!
It's gnome time. This was so cool when we first saw it because there was like literally no precedent for having only 2 sinners in a fight, right? I'm about to inflict time moratorium, aren't I? No, actually. I genuinely don't know the trigger for it. I haven't played Tremor a lot, so... Ow, what the... I really lost that clash? Okay. That's fine, I guess. Yo, Don, I need you to, like, clash at all in order to be able to gain some sanity. It would be fun. Okay. She's tanky enough, I guess, but man. I only got 10 turns, so... Actually, yeah, I only have 10 turns. I'm 4 turns in, and I'm only on the first wave still. I do not have fond memories of playing through this the first time, since I did not have a single good ID for Heath or Dawn. Well, that's... Yeah, that would do it. Ohm. It's fine, I'll just use ego on the last waves, if I can, that is, because I don't know what ego I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling AEDD and electric screaming? Why do I have that equipped? Whoops. That's fine, I suppose. Rerun is a joke? I figured it would be. I'll be honest, I think anybody who expected this to be anything except, like, just increased numbers was probably getting their hopes way too high. Really? I only have that much gloom? No, wait, what am I... I'm missing the envy? How? Heathcliff is literally in the party. Oh, speaking of envy, by the way, I realize this is 5 envy resonance. So this is gonna be pretty good, actually. Felt a little silly. So true. It's good to be a little silly some of the time. You couldn't have killed it. Man. God, he is not doing very much damage, huh? Why can I suddenly use Holiday? That's very strange. Oh well, I think we win this turn, pretty much, so... Yeah, the voice acting's always been pretty good. Glad to get more tickets? That's fair, yeah. I'm actually kind of glad to see that the rewards from the previous event are still obtainable for people. Oh yeah, I have asymmetrical inertia. Too bad I don't have, like, any sloth skills, but still. Okay.
균형을 잃은 게
I see we
아니야.
will never hit heads on an ego today. This is fine. Alright, Heathcliff. 25 SP, tails twice. This always happens.
방해꾼 하나가 사라졌군.
Okay, that guy is very dead.
그대에게 보이는 이 전기 불꽃은 무슨 색을 띠고 있는가?
Forgot how high local raw materials actually rolled. It's genuinely a threatening skill. Perish.
방해꾼 하나가 사라졌군.
Do we know who's voicing Sentata? No, not really. It might just be Heathcliff's VA.
이놈들 진짜 죽일 듯이 달려들었다고.
본인의 불찰이요.
The light of confidence had completely faded from Don Quixote's face. So did her enthusiastic voice. No, I should have thought this plan through. Well, if we were to find someone to blame, the biggest fault would lie with me, the manager. No, it would be Don Quixote. Maybe I should have turned around the moment I sensed that something was off. With that, Don Quixote marched toward the now abandoned sleigh. Several mutilated bodies tumbled to the ground as soon as Don Quixote undid the knot tying the sack.
진짜 예상은 했지만 직접 보고 싶지 않았는데.
There were a total of 7 or so people in the sack, but they were all missing a few limbs. They were barely breathing, and some of them had already perished. I've never seen their style of clothing before. It's like we're pretty far from where we were. I've seen similarly worn and torn clothing in the back streets, but the clothing they wore was of materials and styles that I had not seen before. The back doors must have sent us pretty far. Faust did tell me that each district within the city had different cultures and such, so...
알바냐? 저것들도 조만간 숨이 끊길 거야. 시계를 돌려줄 수 있는 것도 아니고. 빨리 돌아가기나 하자.
아니, 여기 이 사람은 멀쩡한 것 같네. 이보게, 정신 차리게. 그대가 아까 도움을 요청하던 자인가? 당신들은 누구세요?
Joel is wrong because you could do Mirror Dungeon for the Christmas event before, so how did Crayon not get covered in blood and viscera? I don't have an answer for that. Look at that. I've already screenshot this and posted everywhere like it matters. Are there 2 levels that you have to do with just them? Or was there just the one? Oh yeah, there's just the one. Tremor theme. Boom, boom. No. Boom. Boom. Boom, boom. Because... Oh, it is actually giving us backups. Sure.
옷차림이 특이하신 분들이네요. 마을에서 오신 분들은 아닌 건가?
3 story battles in hard mode to get holiday. Dang. The child was dressed in torn and faded clothing. From the way she looked at us, I could tell that she found us rather fascinating. She soon woke up from her momentary shock.
아무튼 구해주셔서 감사합니다. 저는 크레용이라고 해요. 그리고 이빨 태양.
The kid pointed at me and backed away in terror.
뭔 뚱딴지 같은 소리야. 저건 시계 대가리라고.
My name's Dante?
시계 대가리? 이빨 태엽은 시계같이 생겼다고 들었는데 하긴 이빨 태엽은 여기보다 저 밑에 있다고 했으니까 그렇다면 처음 보는 괴물이네요. 괴물 아닐세. 저분은 우리의 자랑스러운 관리자 나리시니까.
You know, I just realized how imagine if Don Quixote was Sancho in this cutscene and how scared that would make Crayon. Thanks for the intro, I guess.
하지만 찌끄거리는 소리밖에 안 들리는데 그건 사정이 있으셔서 아무튼 몸은 괜찮은 겐가? 네, 같이 끌려오신 분들은 아닌 것 같지만
The child looks at the mutilated corpses with a despondent look at her face. Don Quixote casts a sympathetic gaze. Is the stream quiet? Got the stream on full blast, but it's still pretty quiet. My streams have always been a bit quieter compared to everybody else's. I can't really turn my mic up is the problem. Otherwise, I would.
이들은 모두 같은 마을의 이웃이었다는 것인가? 네. 하지만 곧 저희 마을에서 사냥꾼을 보내주실 거예요. 그분들이 오신다면 어떻게든 여기서
Hunters? I wasn't sure what exactly she was talking about, so I was about to ask her what she meant. But this reception hall, storage room, suddenly began to fill with gas of unknown origin.
이건 또 뭐야?
입을 막으시오.
An odd plume of gas as hue red and green begins to fill the room.
이 용기는 제가 넘치들 때랑
The three of them, including Crayon, passed out and slumped to the floor. Yeah, something like this has happened before, when we walked right into a room full of toxic gas, which killed everyone. Looks like this gas only knocked them out, though. That's a relief, at least. Guess I could consider myself lucky that my clock head isn't affected by these things. I gotta hide. As soon as I hid myself in the corner, a crowd of gnomes rushed through the same door Dodoru had come in from. Gas masks, so they used sleeping gas on us.
이건 도도로 실장이었던 것이지 않음?
여기저기 상태 좋은 걸 가져왔다고 자랑을 하고 다니더만 결국 이 꼬라지인 것이오.
Galaxy gas? God dang it.
한 놈, 두 놈, 세 놈. 수는 맞는 것 같음.
잠가루로 재웠으니 품질은 큰 문제 없을 거다.
자자, 얼른 옮기시오.
They picked up Don Quixote, Heathcliff, and Crayon one by one and loaded them onto the sleigh. With that, they left, closing the door behind them. And through it all, I couldn't do anything but watch. Right, looks like this is my time to shine. I'll rescue the three of them. No way. I should have listened to when Ishmael offered to teach me self-defense. What do I do? This harsh truth dawns on me every time we face total annihilation. The truth that, on my own, I am completely useless. If they were left with us, I could at least bring them back, but none of the sinners are here with me. What good am I without them? It's a miracle that I managed to survive this far.
신기하긴 뭐가 신기해요. 정신 차려요.
Great, now I'm hearing things.
환청이 아니에요, 관리자님. 저희가 왔다고요.
갑자기 너네 셋이 사라졌다고 해서 난리도 아니었다고. 오랜만에 심심하진 않았지만.
Dante should get a gun. So true. I bolted up and looked toward the voice. There, I saw another door. And from it, the rest of the sinners appeared one by one. Guys.
덜 신선한 재료는 또 놓고 왔어. 네.
이 소동에 대한 질문은 나중으로 미루죠, 단테.
Oh yeah. Really good thing that the gnomes didn't touch Don Quixote's feet.
우선 전투 명령을.
Because, that wouldn't have ended well for anybody. Oh, now we're in this type of fight. Okay. Okay. Just realized having depression in the city would be a nightmare. You would have Big C constantly whispering in your ear. I don't know, I think that'd be pretty cool. What a cursed sentence without context. Yeah. Just be glad they're not like Mort. They're not little foot goblins. Ryoshu, I need you to win a clash someday. Honglu, apparently I need you to clash at all because you do not roll heads at 50 SP. Oh hey, that's funny.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게.
Oh, it's just going immediately. Okay, cool. Probably have cool drugs for depression. Sure.
괴물을 봤다고? 혹시 이런 모습이던가?
Epic. Ow. Ow. It's fine. Gregor's perfectly fine. We add a positive coins, man. Sure. Gosh, screw loose. I forgot how British Ryoshu was in this ID.
힘들군. 그러니 알아서 잘 피해야지.
She is indeed very British with this ID. They have enkephalin instead of galaxy gas, which is cool, I guess. Isn't enkephalin like an actual drug, too? I was gonna say, like, yeah, galaxy gas isn't a real drug, except it definitely is. Oh, this poor soul. I don't want to think about that, Coffee.
대범의 머리가 쪼개지진 않았을 텐데.
Reading news lines about galaxy gas? So it is a drug or something? It can cause serious damage to your body, yeah. A touching on a union. What the hell is galaxy gas? It's I don't, you know, it's probably better that I don't have a good answer for that. It's like a food additive you can buy or something like that. But it's an addictive substance, so thanks everyone. How did you find me?
뒷문으로 들어왔어.
Yes, but how? You sang.
버스 내부에서 관리자를 포함한 3명의 신호가 감지되지 않더군요.
그 즉시 수감자 전원을 대동한 수색이 진행되었어.
Originally supposed to be helium, but they snuck something in it. I don't know.
쉬라고 보낸 지 몇 분이나 됐다고. 이러면 곤란해, 단테.
아무리 관리자님이라고 해도 이런 단독 행동은 큰 위험을 초래합니다.
I'm sorry. So how did you guys find us?
나의 추측이었어. 히스클리프 군은 시종일관 불안한 상태였지. 전후 상황을 고려하면 T사에 도착하기 전에 준비해야 할 것이 있는 것 같았어.
Hello, Abstract Cannon Bicycle. Fantastic username.
돈키호테 양은 이전 버스 경보가 있던 날 조금 늦게 뒷문으로 돌아왔어. 그리고 다음 날 나와 파우스트 양에게 도시에서 흔히 쓰이는 기호에 대한 설명이 묶인 책을 요구했어.
Best way to farm event? You asked me like that. You have like a month. Just play a mirror dungeon every other day.
네, 파우스트가 몇 권 대여해 주었습니다.
돈키호테 양은 내내 내 옆에서 그 책을 읽으며 흥분된 표정으로 책을 뒤적거렸어. 나의 컨디션이 좋지 않아 말을 걸지는 못했으나 코스프레, 복장, 주머니 등의 단어를 계속 중얼거렸지. 이상의 일들을 종합하면 돈키호테 양은 버스의 경보에서 뭔가 자신을 혹하게 하는 기호를 찾았고.
Yippee! Congratulations, Joel. That's the better of the two, if I had to guess.
문의
Yeah, just
위치는
play the video game.
파우스트가 알고 있었기 때문에 결과적으로 이 공간에 도착할 수 있었습니다.
문까지 가는 동안 복도에 있던 존재들과 전투를 치렀다.
Entities of the corridor? So like Pekatoa?
그나마 조무래기들이니까 다행이었지.
I would actually love to see... I would have loved to have seen a stage where you actually got to play as the sinners in the corridor fighting those entities, because we still don't know what they are.
그런 상황에서 수감자가 사망하기라도 한다면 영구적인 인원 손실을 발생시킬 수도 있습니다. 이해하셨나요? 관리자님이 없는 상황에서 일어나는 전투는 저희에게 지극히 위험합니다.
If Limbus was a hack and slash action game, it'd probably be way more fun, yeah. Instead of bringing all the sinners, Dante should have just snuck around with one of the dead gnomes' saws and made himself a nuisance until everyone woke up.
복도 어딘가에서 시체가 되어 영영 되살아나지 못할 수도 있었다.
관리자님의 단독 행동이 얼마나 큰 위험인지, 그리고 책임이 얼마나 중한지 숙지해 주시면 좋겠군요. 관리자님은 반드시 살아남아야만 합니다. 아시겠습니까?
I've never seen Otis look at me like that. Her gaze was cold and ruthless.
이번엔 운이 좋았던 것입니다, 단테. 애초에 그 기회의 나열은 그런 식으로 때려 맞추듯 해석할 수 있는 것 또한 아니었고요.
I'm really sorry. I don't know what else to say.
이 정도로 해두죠. 그보다 그렇네요. 돈키호테, 히스클리프.
I love that.
그 두 명은 어디로 간 거죠?
No Don Quixote. Notice how Ryoshu did not bother to ask where Heathcliff was. Oh, that's... I told them exactly as the events transpired.
잘도 살아 있었네. 관리자 양반. 나까지 덧붙이기엔 충분히 들었을 거라 생각하고 덧붙이지 않겠어.
어이, 여기는 도시의 어느 구역이지? 이 추위를 봐서는 북부로라도 온 건가? 아니면
이곳은 도시가 아닙니다.
아니, 그게 무슨 말이야?
Why did the conversation break, Olm? This mischievous Dante hiding in the corner with a handful of wires?
단어 그대로 해석하시면 됩니다. 저기 널브러져 있는 놈이라는 지성체들은 외곽에 사는 생명체. 흔히 외곽의 괴물이라고 불리는 존재입니다.
아우, 호수에서 그렇게 질리도록 싸워놓고 또 괴물이야?
They weren't exactly like the whales, though. We could communicate with the gnomes. They were just like people, except smaller.
외곽의 다른 지역과 존재들이라니. 상황만 여유로웠다면 마음 놓고 탐구했겠네요. 그런데 이곳은 전반적으로 노움의 키에 맞춰서 설계된 구조물인 듯하군요.
여기가 외곽이라면 왔던 길로 돌아갈 수 있는 거겠죠?
저희가 들어온 문이 닫히지만 않는다면요.
아직은 열려 있는 것 같다.
만약에 다치면요?
Oh, you meant conveyor belt. Not conversation. I love autocorrect sometimes.
뜻밖의 여정이 시작되겠죠. 외곽에서 도시까지 직접 돌아가야 할 테니 기나긴 여정이 되겠죠.
Isn't that a bit dangerous?
여기서 무슨 소리가 자꾸 나옴? 원래?
여기 노다지가 걸어다니고 있음. 죄다 도구 챙겨서 튀어라오.
단테, 이쪽 뒤로 오시게.
The door slammed open and the gnomes began flooding into the room. We prepared ourselves for battle. There are gnomes all over the place in this place, man. They're gnomed. Okay, Otis. I see how it is. Wow, she's gonna win that clash. Nope. Okay. Half the time that happens and then I just win the clash. How is that Ryoshu? I don't know. Don't ask me. I didn't do it. Alright.
이런 것도 되죠. 편하게 가자고요.
It's flavored CO2. It's not safe to consume. That's what it is.
거기까지.
Never look at Ryoshu the same way again. Man, I wish a lot of people wouldn't.
탈출 개체가 정리되었습니다.
There are people on the internet that really like Ryoshu. And I personally don't see it, but that's just me. What's your best theory as to what Sinner transformation visually looks like? What do you mean by that?
편하게 가자고요.
파도한다. 최선의 방어를.
Well, the IDs come from a mirror, right? If you've ever seen that one part of Avengers Infinity War where he launches the mirror world at Thanos, it probably looks something like that. If I had to guess, it's not super pronounced.
역시 사람은 아니네요. 노움이라는 건. 희한한 말투를 쓰는 것 빼곤 이 정도로 말이 통하는 괴물. 아니, 괴물이라고 말하는 게 맞을까요?
정의하기 나름입니다. 누군가는 괴물이라고 말할 테고 누군가는 다른 종족이라고 하겠죠.
I appreciate your analyses, but we should probably get moving. We still don't know where Heathcliff and Don Quixote are.
역시 오늘도 맞는 말씀만을 하시는군요, 관리자님.
Shut up, Otis.
외곽은 평소 우리의 작전을 진행하는 곳보다 위험도가 높다. 관리자의 신변을 보호하기 위해서는 좀 더 체계적인 계획을.
뭐, 제일 쉬운 방법은 그 둘을 버리고 가는 거긴 하지만 그게 최선은 아니니까요.
Ishmael kicked open the door the gnomes rushed in from.
가요. 관리자님도 지키고 그 둘도 구하면 되잖아요.
대의에 맞서는 자들을 확실하게 굴복시켰죠.
You're gonna see this guy a lot today.
그럼 다음 타겟을 설정해 볼까요?
Alright, let's see. Can I get the thing? No, I need to do one more fight.
천천히 가자니까.
They're not really ID cards, they're more like little memory cards, you know, those little tiny, like, thumb drives. He sticks them into the side of the thing.
최선의 방어를.
Yes, please squish the gnome.
내 뒤로. 거기까지.
This is why Gregor the forever underappreciated. I like Ryoshu because one day she'll be like, it's all an act, and she's super nice and hugs Sinclair and bakes cookies for everyone. I don't think that's true.
이런 것도 되죠. 편하게 가자고요.
한바탕 해볼까?
시간을 의뢰했다면
이런 것도 되죠.
That made a lot of sense visually.
힘들군. 그러니 알아서 잘 피해야지.
탈출 개체 확인.
힘들군. 그러니 알아서 잘
One hell of a mirror world. I actually think, like, as a Yu-Gi-Oh player, right? The problem is not equivalent. I think I would hate if Ryoshu turned out to be super nice. She's not my favorite. I don't want them to break the character of the characters that I dislike. That's the thing. Like, people assume that I want a character to change just because I dislike them. That's not how storytelling works. If you dislike the character, that means the character is being characterized.
제압 완료.
That's a good thing.
경고에는 익숙해지시는 게 좋을 겁니다. 아직 50일까지.
There, I got the gnomes. What? Well, these stages are literally called the exact same thing. Alright. Fine. Gnome triome.
천천히 가자니까.
재료가 잔뜩 있음.
내 뒤로.
어디 있음?
저쪽에 있음. 누구 생겼으면 달려.
I think one of them is Don Quixote's voice actress as well. I don't know which one it is, but
선물 만들고 도구 연습만 하는 것이요?
직접 타도하죠.
stop. No, I don't want to hear them say me.
선물 포장을 그렇게 하면 어떡하오?
대의에 거부하지 말고
도도로 시장에게 말해둘 것이옴.
이런 것도 되죠.
Why did it? Okay. Dirty Yoshu to me is what I imagine a cool movie character would be like. If anything, isn't she playing a character too? I mean, yes, but also, it's like what I would imagine a cool character would be like when I was 13 years old.
그러지 말고.
You're right. I actually despise this. Joel, I'm turning them off after this. Like, I can't collect my thoughts at all hearing Ohm every 3 seconds.
힘들군. 그러니 알아서 잘 피해야지.
대검의 머리가 쪼개지진 않았어.
조금만 더 힘내라옹. 마좀 선물 받을 친구들을 떠올리시오.
고통은 금방이지만
사돈.
기쁨은 오래 갈 것이오.
탈출 개체가 전개되었습니다.
Oh, right, I forgot the manager gnomes existed. That's fine.
조금만 더 힘내라옹. 마좀
사돈.
선물 받을 친구들을 떠올리시오.
고통은 금방이지만 기쁨은 오래 갈
You
것이오.
must leave them on home.
힘들군.
Someone at
그러니
Project
알아서
Booth
잘
thought the
피해야지.
gnomes announcer was an amazing idea. Oh, it's a great idea, but I don't want to listen to them.
다음 술자리 모험담은 이거군. 아주 완벽했어.
I didn't take a single point of damage during that fight. Alright. Alright, let's solve this problem really quick. Dante, you're more important. I don't know, maybe it's better if you have 10 announcers equipped, but like, man.
제압을 준비합니다.
Don't turn the gnome narrator on at 3
나와서
a.m.
보니까 뭔가 여긴
공장 가꾸려 선물을 만드는 것인가?
아, 이런 식으로 선물 자체를 만들어내는 공장도 있었나 보군요.
크리스마스 장식도 한가득이네요. 아직 크리스마스 때까지는 시간이 좀 남았는데.
Sinclair looked to the ground with a somber expression. I didn't need to ask to know how he was feeling.
괴물끼리 크리스마스 선물이라도 나누는 걸까요?
그렇게 친절해 보이지는 않았는데 말이지.
도시 어딘가의 날개에서 외곽에 있는 공장에 하청을 맡겼을 가능성도 있다.
I wanted to say no chance, but the city and the wings that we've experienced so far were... Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, there was a non-zero chance of that being the case. And before the gnomes just work for the Devyat Association. They're just here, doing their job, and we're killing them.
한바탕 해볼까?
Which ironically means that there's a wing that's gonna be mad at us for ending one of their factories, right?
그 정도인가?
I never recommended using Ahab Ishmael. At least as an announcer,
직접 타도하지.
you know? Oh, that was the perfect amount of damage. Exceptional. Can you not? Okay, Otis. Oh, we haven't used Ishmael's ego yet. I don't think I've fueled it yet, because none of these IDs really have gloom. There we go, this is a good opportunity.
한바탕 해볼까?
이런 것도 되죠. 편하게 가고요.
그 정도인가?
Am I even gonna get a chance to use it? They're all gonna be dead.
힘 조절이.
괴물이요? 무슨 잘못 본 거겠죠.
못 봤지?
Where's she learned to do that, and where can she teach me how to do that? It's very important.
그 시간을 뿌리도록 하지.
탈출 개체 확인.
What do you think the gnomes taste like? I'm not gonna eat them. I'm not gonna eat them to find out. In fact, I'd probably prefer not to find out. One of them is called a cherry gnome, though, so perhaps cherries. Because she has a cozy bed. Perhaps I should get one, then. Listen. Conjure a tentacle out of nowhere. It's not that hard. I wish it weren't that hard. You know how often I'd be using that power? Way more often than you think. It'd just be useful to have more appendages, you know?
그러니 알아서 잘 피해야지.
After spending some time battling gnomes and trashing the gift factory, we soon realized that the gifts the conveyor belt were moving weren't your average gifts.
저건 발인가? 발이 그려져 있는 표지판은 왜 저기에 붙어 있는 거야?
이쪽은 눈알이 그려져 있어.
이 선물들의 성분은 통상적인 그 물체를 구성하는 재료들이 아닌 것으로 추측됩니다. 형태는 곰인형, 크레파스, 장난감 기차 따위지만 단백질과 인의 함유율이 유독 높습니다. 꼬마 전구나 장식 소품들은 그렇지 않은 걸 보아 이건 도시의 쓰레기들을 주워 걸어둔 것 같네요.
뻔하지. 사선. 사람으로 만든 섬.
뭐든지 사람을 갖고 해결하는 건 외곽이나 도시나 똑같네.
중요한 건 누구를 위한 선물인가겠지만요.
누가 이런 걸 받고 싶어 하겠어요?
모르지. 부자놈들은 은근히 이런 변태 같은 취향을 가진 놈들이 있기 마련이거든.
그런데 말이죠. 사람으로 선물을 만드는 거라면 히스클리프 씨와 동키호테 씨도 선물이 되는 건가요?
I do recall them saying something about locally produced materials.
한시가 급하겠구려.
선물이 미리 되지 않았다는 가정에서 그들이 있을 확률이 제일 높은 곳을 알 수 있다.
After a long silence, Merceau spoke up. He pointed in a direction.
저곳에 선물 제작소라는 간판이 붙어 있다.
Oh, this is where we learned that Merceau knows how to read.
대의에
So
맞서는
true.
자들을 확실하게 굴복시켰죠. 그럼 다음 타겟을 설정해 볼까요?
Can you tell which ones have story? Not really. Okay.
잠깐만. 천천히.
The gnomes will be screwed if Dawn's feet is severed. It's so true. Although at the same time, so would we. So like, you read in Canto 4 the email? Oh, so you're actually right. That's very true.
이런 것도 되죠.
I just got crit when that gnome countered. On turn 1, in front of my OSHA manual? Like, what are you doing?
위험 요소 제거.
Oh, that's gonna hurt. If her severed feet are still in Rocinante, does she awaken? I have no idea, and I don't really have any way to ponder this question, so, you know. The gnomes have ohm manuals? Alright.
그 정도인가?
Dependent on how correct you are, you know? When will you release the next video on Bug Fables? Do you mean the next stream? Because I haven't done a Bug Fables video yet, technically. And I don't know is the answer. I want to actually stream when I feel like doing that, and I just haven't felt like streaming a lot recently. You know? Alright, chat. You want to know the real reason why Ishmael's ego is the best one? I'll show you. If it wins the clash, God.
호기심은 나쁜 거야. 너 지면 어둠에게 잡아먹히거든.
That's why. Her powers are still sealed with her feet severed because they're in her shoes. That's some fake contract bullshit. The Eep. It's not the doll. I'll tell you that much.
편하게 가자고요.
Oh, right, that passive exists. That's why she's in the team. I don't know why that surprised me. Oh yeah, while we're here, we might as well see Gregor's as well.
탈출 개체 확인.
Oh, hey Ishmael, good job. It's really impossible to tell what Gregor's looks like in that animation. Could you just re-glue her feet back on with Bloodfiend powers? Yeah.
데이에 맞서는 자들을 확실하게 굴복시켰죠. 그럼 다음 타겟을 설정해 볼까요?
I forget, is this the boss fight? I don't think it is. There's 12 stages, right? I think I'm hearing some odd noise from in there.
비소인가. 꽤 고역의 의미군. 즐거운 일이 벌어지고 있다는 뜻이다.
비명 소리가 들리는데 무슨 일이냐고요?
익숙한 높낮이다. 이 정도의 데시벨은 돈키호테의 고함 소리와 일치한다.
Alright.
잠깐. 아직 전투 구역의 위험 정도가 파악되지 않았다. 저 안은 폐쇄적인 공간인 것 같으니.
Stimulates the imagination. I don't want my imagination to be stimulated. I want the one with the tentacles.
그대 히스클리프 군이 있었다면 이런 소리를 할 것 같소.
뭐지?
I think I know. A bloody frustrating. Quit whinging, pick up your tools, and get cracking.
제법 웃기네요.
Ishmael soon blasted the door open with a powerful kick. Meanwhile,
여긴 대체 뭐야? 나 왜 묶여 있는 건데?
미안하네. 우린 아무래도 망한 것 같네. 피시, 우리는 저기저 프레스킥의 속에서 장난감이 되어버릴 운명인 것이.
I actually would love if they put Don Quixote in the hydraulic press.
본인은 저 오뚜기 인형이 되어버리는 것 같네. 넘어져도 다시 일어나는.
야! 이상한 소리 그만하고 이것 좀 어떻게 풀어봐!
히스클리프군, 정말 미안하네. 본인이 비록 붉은 주머니 코스프레 복장을 얻고 싶었던 마음이 아주 조금은 있었어.
Hey.
나.
I didn't say anything about Vor. You're ascribing a bias that I have not.
자네의 멋진 옷을 구해주려고 했던 것 또한 내 진심이었네.
이 새끼, 내가 그럴 줄 알았어. 너 이따가
Yeah, Dawn's voice actress is always very good.
그래도 자네는 멋진 회중시계라는 것이 되려는 모양이네.
여기까지 와서 또 시계야.
저는 색연필이 되나 봐요. 색도 24가지나 있대요.
Hooks, tentacles, and insert third thing here. What's the issue?
살아있는 재료는 오랜만에 보는 것 같음.
근데 조금 귀가 아픈 것 같음. 귀에서 피 나는지 봐줄 수 있음? 저렇게 악을 쓰는 인간들로 만들어진 선물이어야 받는 놈들이 좋아 죽지 않겠음?
자, 그럼 손질을 시작해볼까?
히스클리프 씨, 동키호테 씨, 다행이다. 아직 선물이 되지 않으셨네요.
꽤 코지한 분위기군.
There is none. I just didn't remember a third thing. All right.
어떡해?
We're here for you, Heathcliff. Yeah, get Don out of here.
시계 대가리. 젠장이 이렇게 반가울 줄이야.
Looks like we got here in the nick of time. Heathcliff was about to be shoved into that gift-making hydraulic press machine.
자, 내 밧줄을 끊었어. 이리 내려오시게.
내가 말이지. 이런 말은 잘 안 하는 성격인데 시계가 되지 않게 해줘서
이 머저리들, 관리자님 하나 지키지 못하고 포로나 된 꼴이라니.
Live in a stone house. I will throw glass. What does that mean?
됐다. 취소할란다.
자, 빨리 정신 차려요. 관리자님, 이제 어떻게 하실 거죠?
Well, we've got to trash this place. Come on, get ready to wear your identities. How does Dante know what a hydraulic press machine is? I don't know, Merceau probably told him at one point. He's similar to a hydraulic press, after all.
탈출 개체 확인.
No, he squishes.
최선의 방어를.
거기까지.
You shouldn't be throwing glass. Glass is a dangerous substance. It's kind of like galaxy gas in a way. You shouldn't consume it. What in the world is my what level are these guys? Level 50. Okay, I am not sure why everything is struggling right now. It also doesn't really make much of a difference, so. You think Merceau can bench 225? I think most of the Sinners could probably bench 225. Okay. That's fine, I guess.
대검의 머리가 쪼개지진 않았어.
힘들고. 그러니 알아서 잘 피해야지.
내 뒤로.
You watch those hydraulic press videos off camera? I wouldn't even be surprised. I'm getting very unlucky this fight. I won't say that the fight is difficult because it's not.
힘들군. 그러니 알아서 잘 피해야지.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게요.
I was gonna say something about Sinclair, but he's carrying that huge halberd. You have to understand that the strength of the average human in the city is much higher than the average strength of a human in the real world. Like, Faust is carrying a sword that's probably about 10 pounds at all times. And by 10 pounds, I mean probably about 20 pounds. Zweihanders are pretty heavy.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게요.
Hey, he's actually flipping heads this time. See, this ego does a ton of damage. But it's slash, so that's part of its issue.
최선의 방어를. 위험인물 발견. 제압할게.
Would believe more in lightweight materials than everyone in the city is super bulky. You see what these people get hit by and survive?
힘 조절이. 가진 놈들을 털. 그 시간에 뿌리도록 하지.
After we defeated the horde of gnomes, Don Quixote and Heathcliff fell to their knees before everyone. I also knelt down, feeling like I should be down there with them, but Otis tightly pulled me to the side. I feel bad for those two.
준비되었어. 시작하시오. 내 놈들. 도대체 어떻게 해야 그딴 정신머리가 생겨날 수 있는 거지? 관리자님께서 너희로 인해 얼마나 많은 걱정을 했고 위험을 감수했는지 알기는 하나.
사실은 시계 대가리도 그렇고.
시끄러. 관리자님의 이름을 그런 식으로 부르지 마라. 버릇없는 것.
잘못했어.
어릴 적 어머니에게 혼날 때와 흡사한 광경이군.
Otis did not seem to slow down at all with her stern scoldings, and the pair fell completely silent, their heads hung low. I decided to wander away from this scene. This guilty conscience was too much for me to bear. Is Crayon doing okay?
네. 과도한 정신적 충격으로 잠시 기절했을 뿐이었습니다.
어쩌다 이런 곳에 끌려온 것이오.
사람인 거죠? 여기는 정말 외곽인 거고.
Crayon initially appeared somewhat taken aback from the deluge of questions, but she soon began to open up.
역시 여러분은 도시의 사람들이시군요. 저는 외곽 북쪽에 있는 마을, 구름마을 사람이에요.
왜 거기는 저런 노움 같은 괴물들이 많은 건가? 사람 말도 막 하고?
네, 노움만 있는 건 아니고 여러 괴물이 있어요. 제가 본 것도 있지만 마을 어른들이 이야기해준 것만 해도 엄청 많아요. 저희 마을은 그런 괴물들을 피해 만들어진 곳 중 하나예요. 오늘도 평소 같다면 모두와 같이 마을에서 식사를 준비하고 있을 시간이었는데.
갑자기 저들이 들이닥친 거군.
맞아요. 하필 사냥꾼들이 나가 있어서. 원래 괴물들이 올 시기가 아닌데 그래서 안전하다고 생각한 건데 갑자기 썰매를 타고 들이닥쳐서는. 싸워보려 했지만 대부분 상대가 되지 않으셨고 많은 분이 돌아가셨어요. 그렇게 생긴 시체는 그 썰매의 주머니에 모조리 넣었던 거고요. 너무 무서워서 기절하고 말았는데 죽은 줄 알았는지 같이 주머니에 넣어지게 되었죠.
아, 이런 말하기 힘든 얘기까지 들어버렸네. 미안하군.
아니에요. 저도 질문해도 되나요?
무엇이든.
도시에는 48가지 크레용 색깔이 있다는 게 정말인가요? 그 중에 금색이랑 은색도 있다는 것도?
아마도.
그리고 도시에는 사람들만 살고 있는 거죠? 이런 저희를 죽이려 드는 괴물 없이요.
그거 참 복잡한 질문이네.
높은 곳에 올라가서 가끔 바라봤거든요. 도시는 엄청 예쁜 불빛이 가득하구나 하고요. 제가 가진 색만으로는 칠할 수도 없이 엄청 반짝반짝하게요.
There's a stage where the clear within 10 turns is really tight. Yeah, it's the first one. The one where you only have Heathcliff and Don. Because it's 4 waves of enemies with only 2 centers.
부러웠어요. 다들 괴물에게 언제 당할지 걱정 없이 이웃들과 행복하게 살 수 있을 테니까.
That's not true.
정말 도시에 와본 적이 없구나. 네?
거기서 거기. 여기나 저기나 죽음은 늘 가깝지.
와, 멋있어. 한 번 더 해주세요.
Huh? That was cool.
그리고 다른 사람은 근처에서 못 보셨나요?
여기서 사람을 본 적은 없는 것 같은데요.
그럴 리가. 분명 구하러 와주셨을 텐데.
어떤 분이신가요?
저희 구름 마을에 제일 가는 사냥꾼. 그분이 계셨다면 이번 습격도.
그 말로 유추해보자면 호수의 고래잡이들처럼 외곽에도 괴물을 전문적으로 잡는 사냥꾼이 있나보.
그런데 잠깐만. 사람들을 잡았다가 이런 선물을 만든다고 했잖아. 이 선물은 누구를 주려고 만드는 건데?
Big man.
그야 당연히 가엾고 착하며 울지 않는 우리의 이웃들이지요.
관리자님, 뒤쪽으로.
깜짝이야. 저건 또 뭐야?
난 이웃에게 선물을 나누어주는 산타타입니다.
Guffawing giant garbed in red carried a massive gift sack on his shoulder. It was definitely not a human.
그래, 저놈이야. 저놈이 여기 대가리를 했어.
저 옷이네. 저 붉은 옷이 우리가 찾아 헤매다.
The pair immediately jumped up from their knees and began shouting in unison.
저게 붉은 주머니라는 해결사의 옷이라고? 야!
설마 사슴맨 맞아?
닥쳐라. 또 쓰잘데기 없는 소리를.
After silencing the pair with a short, stern command, Otis approached me and spoke in a low voice.
관리자님, 우선 지성체로 보여 대화를 해보긴 하겠지만 수가 틀어지면 여지없이 전투에 돌입할 수 있게 준비하는 것이 좋을 것 같습니다.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
이웃이라면 누구를 말하는 거죠? 도시에 있는 날개나 고객들?
도시에 아니 우리가 들어갈 수나 있나요?
저 덩어리도 노움인 거야? 노움들이 말하는 걸 들었네만 이곳의 대장은 노움이 아니라 수염 거인이라 부른다고 했어.
거인은 또 뭐야? 진짜 별게 다 있구만.
단테, 저건 환상체는 아닌 거야?
No, that's not an abnormality or distortion. I'd say it's closer to the whales.
당신들도 선물을 받고 싶은 건가요? 이 외곽에 사는 우리 이웃들은 그날 손꼽아 기다린답니다. 인간으로 만들어진 선물을 받고 기쁨과 위안을 느낄 수 있는 유일한 날이니까요.
인간으로 장난감을 만들어서 인간에게 징후를 가진 자들에게 선물하는 것인가?
It's not queso. Don't say that.
순수한 선의만으로.
인간들에게 그런 내려지고 쫓겨난 모든 것들이 몸을 맞대어 부둥켜 사는 이곳에서
It has to fit in the screen.
무한한 징후를 담아 언제나 정성스럽게 포장하고 있답니다.
협상 결렬이라는 말을 길게도 하는군.
She didn't even try.
차라리 누군 기쁨이 될 수 있는 선물이 되는 편이 어떠십니까?
It's him. He's there. Oh, right. That is the end of a stage for some reason.
완벽한데요? 소문이 퍼지면 당분간 귀하신 분들의 영지 보호 의뢰가
Yeah, fine.
끊이질 않겠어요.
I just barely don't have enough to do the entire thing myself.
명탄이다.
I would have performed that? I think that's the wrong word, but sure.
한바탕 해볼까?
I don't remember this fight being very difficult, so... It's okay, Coffee. We know you just look like to look at big bellies. Alright, there's nothing wrong with it.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게요.
거기까지.
가진 놈들을 털.
Why did they stop doing it like this, by the way? I guess this fight could be a little tricky to hit in the 10-turn timer, but... I also don't remember would have licked the bit. Okay. Think that was the wrong word, Joel. Right, let's kill this guy. Oh my. Listen, Joel is just taking it to the logical conclusion, alright? Despite having never seen it, Sintata's big attack he builds up for now is unbreakable coins. I know. I'm well aware. You don't really have to worry about spoiling it for me. I was talking about it with the APR crew last night. Because you have to get through the block without breaking the shield, right? But that's like basically impossible because it only gives him 100 shield. Or something along those lines. There we go. Then perish. I kind of knew this fight was going to take me 3 turns per wave anyway, so it's not that big of a deal.
그 정도인가?
Excellent. If only that could hit the small one too. Oh well.
내 뒤로.
그 시간을 뿌리도록 하지.
Oh, he actually does a thing when he enters battle now. Hello, big guy. He is very large, to be fair.
직접 타도하죠.
In the mirror dungeon, I just realized you guaranteed to have the new pack for floor 4 and 5 on hard. Isn't that a good thing, though? It means I can actually, like, finish the compendium faster. I'm gonna do a hard mirror dungeon after this, by the way. Because I do want to see all the new mirror dungeon stuff, if I can. Though I kind of doubt I'll get it all in one run. It would be cool. Yeah, I don't care about that. Yeah, he doesn't have enough health to survive long enough, it seems.
탈출 개체 확인.
Nice clash winning bozos. Exactly. Nope, there it is. Alright, whatever. Maybe I'll actually see the attack. Who knows? Oh! Okay. Oh hey, I actually get to see it. Yep, it has unbreakable coins. I'm pretty sure this skill does the same thing in normal, but it just doesn't have the unbreakable coins. Do I even need to do that? I mean, it being unbreakable does mean that I am guaranteed to be hit by it, I suppose. But it's still not that big of a deal. Okay, turns out I did not have very good skills for this turn, but that's fine. New particle effects? No, I think those were there before.
슬픔에 흔들린 마음 이렇게 터져버리죠.
Sorry, Honglu. It's okay, he'll get better. He doesn't look very staggered, but I know he is.
탈출 개체 확인.
There we go.
쪼개지진 않았을 텐데.
Santata's gut suddenly began to expand.
너희 전부 고막아라.
Suddenly, a large figure leaped out of the dark and slammed what looked like a stake into Santata's gut.
이런 냄새는 처음 났어.
정신이...
쓰레기가 붙는 듯한 향이구려.
Some sinners dropped to the floor while the others gagged profusely. Clearly, this was a rather painful experience for all.
유독성이 있는 가스는 아닌 것 같습니다. 단지 극한의 불쾌감을 불러일으키는 냄새가 날 뿐.
북쪽의 거인을 쓰러뜨렸지만 처리 방법도 모르는 걸 보니 도시에서 온 사냥꾼들인가?
처리 방법?
북쪽의 거인은 죽기 직전 몸에 가스를 가득 채운 후에 터뜨리면서 산성 폭발을 일으키어
The man who staked Santata's gut explained as he approached us.
이 가스가 산성 체거로 변하기 전에 배에 구멍을 뚫어 가스를 빼내야 하는 거지. 연쇄 반응이라도 일으키면 뒤처리가 곤란해지거든.
There's somewhere else you can stab other than the gut? He's like 3 times your size? Probably not. I think it's kind of arbitrary anyway.
자들을 확실하게 굴복시켰죠. 그럼 다음 타겟을 설정해 볼까요?
이건 냄새.
도미노 아저씨!
Crayon, who'd been holding her breath with her fingers over her nostrils, ran up to the large man and hugged him.
너라도 무사했구나. 그래요. 다행이다.
After stumbling for a moment, due to the stench most likely, Otis briefly gasped for air before approaching Domino.
어이, 신원을 밝혀라.
푸른 마을의 괴물 사냥꾼 도미노요. 이제 구름 마을에는 나와 크레용만 남았으니 더 이상 마을이라 부를 수도 없겠군. 안심하시오. 자네들을 해칠 생각은 추호도 없으니.
아까 꼬마가 말했던 그 사냥꾼인가?
What is going on with your keyboard, man? Otis relaxed upon Domino's confirmation. She leaned on a wall and looked into the floor in relief.
원래 이 시기에는 이놈들이 우리 마을로 오지 않고 북쪽의 다른 마을로 갔을 터. 그래서 돕기 위해 떠난 것이었다만 이번엔 방식을 바꿨던 모양이군. 돌아와 보니 이미 마을은 습격당했지. 젠장! 크리스마스 전 준비 기간을 항상 맞추던 놈들이라 다른 괴물보다 피하기 쉬웠는데.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what those are.
이런 일이 빈번한 것인가?
도시는 몰라도 외곽은 늘 이 모양이요. 지옥같이 괴물 천지인 이곳에서 사람이 살아간다는 것 자체가 기적일 테고.
이런 선물 같지도 않은 것들을 만드는 곳도 많은 건가요?
이곳과 비슷한 걸 본 적은 없지만 하나는 확실히 말할 수 있지. 외곽에서의 다른 일들에 비하면 그저 귀여운 수준에 지나지 않는다고. 도시였다면 이런 지옥보다는 나은 삶을 살 수 있지 않았을까? 제법 생각하곤 하지.
It was no easy contemplation to answer. The outskirts must be a hellish place to live if what he's told me is anything to go by, but the city they admire so much isn't such a warm place itself, from what I've seen in my journey so far at least.
그러다면 함께 도시로 가는 것은 어떤가? 우리는 어차피
Don Quixote stopped herself, realizing that every other sinner was giving her a look of disapproval.
말은 고맙군. 하지만 그렇게 간단한 말 한마디로 이 아이라도 도시로 데려갈 수만 있다면 참 좋겠는데 말이지. 도시는 결코 이 아이에게 작은 귀퉁이 하나도 내주지 않을 거야.
도시의 벽을 넘더라도 여러분들이 꿈꾸는 삶을 누리기까지 필요한 준비 서류와 절차만 해도 수십 가지일 것입니다.
서류라. 우리가 지금 와서 갖출 수 있는 서류가 어디 있기나 하겠나. 다른 마을의 청년들처럼 도시에서 일자리를 얻기 위해 공부를 해온 것도 아니고.
아저씨.
There was an uncomfortable silence. Domino cleared his throat and continued.
그래도 감사를 표하지. 덕분에 이 아이 하나라도 구할 수 있었어.
제일 좋은 감사 방법이 있긴 한데 반짝거리고 짤랑 소리가 나는.
Rodian's eyes were twinkling. The lingering stench made it difficult for her to speak, but she was determined to make her point.
반짝거리고 짤랑. 집에 모아놓은 골동품들을 구경시켜 줄 수는 있는데 외곽 열차길에서 수집해온 진귀한 것들이니 도시에서도 아마 흔히 볼 수 있는 건 아닐 거요.
외곽의 수집품이라면 확실히 돈보다 더 가치 있는 구경이 될 수도 있겠네요.
Faust, there's still a decent chance that the door we entered through might just shut behind us, right?
그렇습니다. 지금도 열려 있을지 불확실하죠. 제일 중요한 목표였던 두 수감자를 회수했으니.
So she says.
관리자님, 제가 감히 의견을 내자면 대호수가 아니더라도 외곽은 외곽. 단지 호기심풀이를 하기 위해 있기는 너무 위험한 곳입니다.
급히 돌아가야만 하는 모양이군. 자, 이거라도 가져가시오.
Domino tossed a carved wooden doll in my direction.
위험한 것은 아닌 모양입니다. 우선 퇴각이 급하니 자세한 것은 가서 확인해보죠.
Yeah, good idea. Some sinners had passed out and had to be carried by others. Most could not stop gagging at the stench, but we still made our way back to the door.
아직 열려 있어.
We made it back to the safety of Mephistopheles. Sometime later,
구린 냄새. 카론 대피.
Charon quickly made her escape to the decks. And Virgilius greeted us in the cabins with a terrifying gaze.
다들 아주 대단한 모험을 하고 온 모양이군. 피와 살점을 뒤집어 쓰고 지독한 냄새까지 붙여온 모양새라.
Oh, this is...
관리자, 어차피 나는 네 목소리가 들리지도 않으니 끄덕거리든 목을 좌우로 젓든 내 말에 대답만 했으면 좋겠어. 물론 내가 원하는 방향이어야겠지만 묻고 싶은 건 단 한 가지다. 당신의 판단이었나?
I hesitated for a moment before nodding affirmatively. I might get reprimanded, or maybe he has worse things in mind for me, but it was I who decided to go along with their plan. This would not have happened without my authorization.
좋아. 그렇다면 질의는 끝입니다. 이 소라는 알아서 해결하고 휴식하도록 하시죠. 코가 썩어서 떨어질 것 같은 이 냄새도 환기하고. 그럼.
With that, Virgilius disappeared into the back door once again. Huh, that's unexpected. I thought my time had finally come.
잘된 건 아니겠는가? 면담이라는 건 맞지 않는 쪽이 항상 좋네. 그보다 모두 이것을 보게다.
I don't know when she had the time to pick it up in all that chaos, but Don Quixote managed to haul a huge sack of gifts back to Mephistopheles.
그 난장판 속에서 또 뭘 집어온 거야? 그 못된 놈들이 전선으로 꾸며놓았던 장식들 말이오. 죄다 잡아 뜯어왔네.
그 집념. 대단해.
What's all that for?
몰라서 묻는 것인가? 크리스마스 데코레이션이지.
벌써요? 아직 크리스마스는 3개월은 넘게 남았는데.
괜히 누군가의 상처를 들쑤셔서 사기를 꺾는 행위는
괜찮아요. 괜찮아지고 있어요. 조금씩.
다들 성장하는 법이니까요.
훌륭하오. 그런 의미에서 오늘은 우리 모두 미리미리 파리를 즐겨보는 것이 어떤가?
그런 걸 하려고 거기까지 간 건 아니겠죠?
단테의 설명대로라면 이 소란의 핵심은 히스클리프.
Heathcliff has been silently brooding in his seat with his face buried in his palms. Out of shame, most likely.
그것도 맞지만 찾으려 했던 복장이 그 괴물 거인에게 있었으니 사이즈도 안 맞을 것 같고.
됐어. 어차피 내가 생각했던 종류의 옷은 아니었다고.
히스, 그러니까 육지에 가면 우리가 다 골라주고
She's
해준다니까.
done it again.
옷도 옷인데 그 뭐냐?
지나쳐온 헤어 쿠폰을 발행한 항구선을 말하는 것인가?
네.
경로가 달라. 그건 사용할 수 있는 조건이 갖춰질 수 없었다.
머리는 제가 만져드릴게요. 누나나 동생들 머리를 해준 적이 많거든요.
여기에 얼마나 더 떠 있을 줄 알고. 그리고 난 애초에 뭐가 좋고 나쁜지도 모른단 말이야. 일단 시행착오를 겪고 수틀렸을 때 조금이라도 나은 방법을 찾아보려 했지.
Have we beaten Kanto 7? Yeah, it came out about a month ago.
애초에 대체 뭘 받은 건데 이렇게 불안해하는 거야?
될 대로 되라지.
After a deep, heavy sigh, Heathcliff produced a letter.
그 전달받은 물건이라는 게 이거야?
아, 이 편지 봉투 저희도 썼던 적이 있어요. 굉장히 고급스러운 종이로 만드는 유통도 얼마 안 되는 종류였는데.
읽어봐도 되는 거야? 히스?
그래, 뭐 대단한 것이 있는 것도 아니고.
그럼 단테가 읽자. 대표니까.
Sure. Rhodia handed me the letter. It was written in a beautiful series of cursive handwriting, drawn to an almost calligraphic perfection. I began reading. From Wuthering Heights. We cordially extend you, our honored guest, an invitation to the... what's this here? Somebody colored over this part of the letter. Well, I'll keep reading. Venue, Wuthering Heights, T-Corp Nest. Should you accept our invitation, please convene at the designated location by 4 in the afternoon on the 24th with this letter on your person. Please honor this occasion with your presence. With great respect, Nellie. Oh, and down here's a postscript. It's written in a different handwriting from the rest of the letter. Yes, you have to be here, Heath. I'll be waiting. Kathy. We had no way to tell what kind of occasion it was on account of it being colored over, but... Clearly, the rest of the letter's contents had stoked the fire of passion in Heathcliff's heart once again.
그러니까
캐시라는 사람한테 잘 보여야 하니까
네.
꽃단장을 해야 한다 그거지?
그것도 없지는 않은데 그거 말고
조용. 기다리기 힘들어하는 이유는 확실히 알아들었어.
뭐야? 왜 그딴 눈가를 하고 다가오는 거야? 야!
Hatsune Heathcliff. I only just noticed that yet.
복루 선생, 헤어스타일링은 맡길게요.
선생이라고 불릴 정도는 아니지만요.
야 잠깐! 어디로 끌고 가는 거야? 아이, 뭔 힘이! 예.
로자 씨 손님이 꽤 세시더라고요. 빠져나오긴 힘들걸요.
The two sinners, practically hauling Heathcliff by his arms, disappeared into the back door. Now, Heathcliff's fate was sealed, to be a mannequin to a now motivated and unbearably bored Rhodia's various experimentations.
이 장식을 여기에 걸어놓으면
Don Quixote began humming a song, a carol perhaps, as she placed the various trinkets around the bus. I decided to go out to the deck for some air. I leaned on the railing and dug through my pockets. The wooden doll Domino the Hunter gave me was just as we hurriedly left. I held it and felt its thick texture under my fingers. My eyes looked into the distance toward where the outskirts lies. I thought for a moment about the gnomes, the giant, and the things Domino told me. I suppose there are people with stories in the outskirts, too. Stories different from those of the city. Faust approached from behind and stood next to me. I wasn't sure how much of what I said she heard.
별을 하나씩 따라가다 보면 언젠가 알게 될 겁니다, 단테. 그러니 우선은 지금 눈앞에 있는 별을 쫓으면 되겠죠.
Yeah, I have to focus on the stories of the city for now. I don't even know who I really am, after all. Joyous laughter and frustrated howls echoed out of the cabins. They must have finished dressing up Heathcliff. Why don't we go take a look at how Heathcliff is doing, Faust?
거절하기 어려운 제안이네요.
The added color to the bus's interior warmed my heart a little. Alright, we gotta do the bonus mission, of course. I'm gonna do this one with Bleed because I don't feel like wasting a huge amount of time on it. Yeah, this is the correct team.
라만 차렌들을 뒤엎는다.
It's them. They're back. This is like the same level, isn't it? No double slot non? Why would I do that? What is the difference between hard mode, hard fight, and normal fight? I don't know. I wouldn't be able to answer that. They're 10 levels higher? Is that true? No, they're the same level. Oh, I did not kill that guy. I got unlucky. It's fine. I'm not in no real danger of not getting through the fight in time. Normal is level 40? No, not compared to normal. This is supposed to be a more challenging version of the fight we just did. And they're the same level, which means is that there's no additional challenge. Oh, that's unfortunate. Sorry, Greg. Sorry, Merceau. You'll be fine. You're Merceau. It's just the more grindable version. Only difference between this and the previous node is this requires modules. But, like, you know, it's a little disappointing, isn't it? I don't know, it's been a long time since I played the normal mode versions, I'll be honest. Alright. Very cool. Whatever, I suppose. Doesn't matter too much. I mean, it was bound to reroll 0 times. The enemy had no debuffs. It's only a 40% chance to even get one. Something tells me that this one's gonna take a little longer, to be fair. It doesn't matter too much, so. No, I don't think he would. It's unimportant to the mission whether or not he survives, so he might as well live. Yeah, this is taking longer than with the team designed for Tremor. That's very strange. Oh, I didn't realize I had her attack that. Whatever. No, it's calculated before the attack, Lumiere. So, no, it's not 60%, it's 40%. How does this work? It needs Lust Resonance, right? Yeah, that's not happening this turn, so... I don't really think it's gonna matter that much how quick we got through the early stages. This is a single target fight, and I have Yearning Merkala equipped. Like, check this out. Well, I guess... Hold on. There we go. I think we will win this fight. Oh, that almost did not win that clash. We're not even gonna get to stagger him, I don't think. That's impressive. Never mind, Merceau is reliable. I think we'll win. I don't know, though. Sometimes I'm a bad judge of that. I didn't skip it the first time I did the fight. Anyways. Alright. Oh, that costs a lot. Okay, whatever. It's not a big deal. Well, that was a little disappointing. Oh yeah, I never actually checked what these lines were. I should equip... Hold on. I should equip these so people actually get a chance to try them out. Oh, I have to... Okay, that's fine. I have every Greg ego uptied, so like... There. Hold on. I have to snag harpoon really quick. Oh. No? There. Literally all it gains is the ability to trigger Tremor Burst. But that's more significant than a lot of base ego get, so that's fine. Where's her other leg, by the way? Like, there's the one right here. You can see that. Where's the other one? Is it supposed to be this? Oh yeah, I can see her foot. Never mind. There you go. Job done. Yeah, that was kind of disappointing. Like, I would have preferred if they actually made, like, new fights instead of just upping the numbers by 10 levels. Because then you might actually get some more interesting stuff going on. You know? The strongest up type 4 base ego? Ryoshu's. It's not even a question. An additional fragile is a lot. Lumiere, you missed the part of the question where they were asking about a base ego, not any ego. Also, Fluid Sac doesn't actually gain a huge amount from Uptype 4, so it doesn't really answer the question. I think the ego that gets the most out of Uptype 4 is Lifetime Stu Sinclair. Unfortunately, that one is bad, so it didn't help too much. Yeah, they gotta do something. I'm very quickly losing interest in playing this game, if I'm being honest, chat. Like, I want to just be negative. I think there just wasn't much in this update that made me that exciting. I don't really even want to make a video about the ego. I just am not interested in them. No, Uptype 4 Fluid Sac gives it, hold on. It gives it this, the head's attack end effect. The after attack effects are always there. It adds an additional 10 SP if you hit heads. I can't show you that because I can't look at it in here, but... I have a lot, like, I want to make a video talking about the things that I dislike about this game, but I don't want to just frame it as a video where I say the thing that I dislike about the game, because that's kind of uninteresting. I was writing a script for it, and the more I wrote a script for it, the more I realized I didn't really want to make that video at all. It was a rerun, but they did advertise a more difficult option, and then it wasn't, so... This is what's going to happen with the other event reruns too, by the way. Like, I wouldn't expect Yield Their Flesh to Claim Their Bones to look anything different from this. I would just expect it to be the same, but 10 levels higher, and maybe a couple attacks of unbreakable coins on them. And I like that there's people that think that expecting that is stupid. I'm all for expecting more from the company, but you gotta also be reasonable about it sometime. I think that they need to like hire more people if they want to get content out that's people are going to be excited to play. Because I like, this is an opinion of mine. I don't want to make it sound like anybody else believes this. I think that the decision to not hire more people to keep the company small is admirable, but unfortunately it's just not conducive to making a gacha game both successful and to have updates people are excited to come back for. You need more people, because otherwise you're not getting updates out fast enough, and people will lose interest in mass amounts. Man wants this anime, I want more game. I also would prefer to just have game enjoyment, but the game doesn't have enough. It's not engaging enough. It's like, this is why I wish people would like play. No, that's like, okay, content creator woe. You don't have to listen to any of this because obviously you're not obliged to watch anything that I produce if you don't want to. But it's one of the reasons I wish more people would watch my other streams, because I have so much more fun playing other games than Limbus. But obviously that's not something that I can just change, because that's something that relies entirely on real people doing other things, and I can't expect real people to be interested in things that they're not interested in, right? So yeah, I mean, the voice acting is always very good. That's why it's kind of not interesting to me, because it's already something that I know is going to be nice. I want to see the stuff in the game that's not as easy to just automatically assume is going to be good. And a lot of the times, the parts of the game that are the most entertaining for me are the parts where the gameplay is actually engaging too. Because the gameplay... No, Coffee, don't worry about it. You're never obligated to come to a stream that I do, okay? I don't want to make it sound like I'm disappointed, but it's not like it's something that I can change on my own, right? It's also partly my personality. I think I'm kind of boring. No, my profile picture is not a Pokemon. it's just a furry. Maybe Yu-Gi-Oh content? I did a Yu-Gi-Oh stream once. It wasn't great, but like to see them depart from the 7 main archetypes. I don't think they're going to depart from the 7 main archetypes. I don't necessarily think that they should either. It helps people easily determine what IDs could work well with each other. So I don't really have an issue with that. Like, if you get a Tremor ID that you like, right? Like, let's say you get Zvishmael, right? And it's a Tremor ID, you really like it. You're going to see that it's a Tremor ID, and then go, oh yeah, maybe I should get some other Tremor IDs to go with it. And that's a good thing. Like, you should be able to do that. It's like the easy part of team building, right? once you get into the more complicated team building stuff, like what ego you need to prepare, what sin affinities you really need to have, that's when it gets to the more, like, you don't really need to do this to have any enjoyment of the game type level. You know? But yeah, I did do Pokemon a while back. I kind of stopped doing Pokemon because, I'm gonna be honest, Pokemon stopped being interesting to me too. But that's just because the main Pokemon games are a little bit too easy for me now, and that's not their fault. So the problem I have with Pokemon is that I don't find it very fun because I find it too easy now because I know too much about it. Doing some more of the modded fan content. Okay, disclaimer talking about modded Limbus Company. Modding Limbus Company is technically not legal under the terms of service of the game. And by that I mean it's legal to do, but you would expect some reprimand from the company should you do it. I have considered playing some modded Limbus Company stuff, because mostly because I would like to mod it myself. That being said, all the mods that I see for Limbus Company are akin to the mods that you see for Library of Ruina, in that people are making them difficult for the sake of difficulty instead of making them an interesting challenge, you know? Like, at one point, Dem showed me, he streamed to us in a call, there was like 6 of us in the call, he streamed to us a mod called The Gauntlet, which is a 10-wave fight with a bunch of difficult stuff in it, excluding the first wave, which is just 2 Envy Pekatula Sloshmails. And it very much looked like difficulty for the sake of difficulty, and not, like, interesting difficulty. And mostly I'd want to mod Limbus Company because I'd like to be able to make something that makes the game more engaging from a gameplay perspective. Unfortunately, as it currently stands, there's no way to make custom scripts in the game because of how it's programmed. So you have to only use effects that currently exist. Like, if I look in here, the parts in the brackets do not matter. Like, you can have this be anything, but you can't have an effect that says, like, gain +6 tremor count and inflict 4 defense level down. You would have to have it be effects that already exist. There might be a 6 tremor count effect. There's definitely a 4 defense level down effect, but you wouldn't be able to put them together in the same line of text. If you wanted something that naturally reduced SP over time, you would have to find an effect that already exists in-game. So, well, one thing I would kind of like is if you set up a company, people should be able to, like, fight that as a group of Envy Pekatola. The reason that they aren't doing that, by the way, is because they'd have to program every individual permutation of an ID as an enemy because of levels. And that would actually be quite a lot of work, even if it is copy and pasting stats. It would take like a week, probably, with how many IDs and ego are in the game. It would be cool, but I don't know if there's a way that they can automate it, and so I won't expect them to do it, you know? I would definitely just have a fight against 6 Bloodfiend Don Quixotes, and that would be very frustrating for anybody who adds me as a friend on this game. Why are we just looking at Ishmael, by the way? I just realized that. How do you implement difficulty in a fun way? You have to make fights that expect you to use your brain. There are fights in this game that expect you to use your brain. The most notable of which is the Pequod Trio fight, which has very mixed reviews because it's also difficult. Other fights include My Form Empties, which requires you to juggle clashing with the boss and also damaging enemies. I think that fight would actually benefit from the minions having as many attack slots as you do, so you actually have to weigh your options. 6 block mail spamming defense stance. That's the problem, right? I don't think I've ever seen an NV Pekatola use a defense skill. They would just use their attack skills because they clash higher. You know, I'm trying to think of other fights and I can't come up with any off the top of my head. I do realize that there's like no burn teams. At the very least, there's 6 Liu identities, so you can easily identify that you can just throw all 6 of them together. Because that's true, you can do that. It's not going to be perfect, but it's possible. Dulcinea? Yeah, Dulcinea is a good example, I guess. There's a stupid idea once where we explore a dungeon that's a mirror world of some place that's been altered. Like, instead of Arcade Corp, we go to Crystal Corp and fight alternate enemies. I mean, that would take a long time to make, but it would be cool, yeah. I think there's ways to implement custom sprites, but because of spine animation, I wouldn't be able to do much with that. In context of fun equals using brain, the MD sucks extra hard because all the fights are essentially solved. Yeah, that's the thing, right? I want to make it clear before anybody gets mad at me that I like the story of this game. It has problems, like Catherine not really being a character at all, but the story, on average, has been very good because this company is fantastic at storytelling. But it's just like the gameplay is not all there, you know? And that's the reason why I kind of just get bored of it really quickly. Like, I said I was going to do a mirror dungeon. I don't think I'm going to do a mirror dungeon. At least not on stream, because I don't think I can commentate on it to make it interesting, is all. I don't really want to make the Ego review video. I just don't think I'd have much to say about them. I'll probably still make it, but weekly global boss kind of deal where the community has to deal X billions of damage to win prizes at the end of the week. Fair. Yeah, everybody's gonna have their own complaints about the story, to be fair. I don't want to make it seem like it's objectively a bad chapter, because I don't think it is. Recommend you play Shin Megami Tensei. The fights are hard but intelligently designed. I've heard that the entire Persona series has good gameplay, actually. And good story, for the record. But I just haven't been interested in it. One game that I did start playing was Atlas. Oh, the furry is playing the furry game. Who would have guessed? No, it's genuinely a pretty good action RPG. I think once it has a lot of content, it would be a really enjoyable game to play through. What else? Joel gave me a copy of what the heck is it called? Can't pay me enough to watch anything Persona. I've said this before, Joel. Nobody is obligated to be here. What the heck was the name of the game you gave me? Home Safety Hotline. Yeah, that one. Obviously, I play Bug Fables. I want to finish playing Core Keeper because every time I start playing it, I just don't. I would love to do more Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff in the future. Unfortunately, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is entering an era where it's kind of just boring because everything is too strong. I don't know the name, but... Oh, you're talking about Pseudo Regalia. I haven't played it, but I might. The monolith and their inclusion in the setting. Oh, that... Yeah, I mean, I guess. They haven't really done anything effective with that yet. Isn't it a horror game? What, Home Safety Hotline? I think so. It's horror, but it's kind of like humorous horror type game, you know? Tactical Breach Wizard? Huh? Have you ever played the Digimon TCG? I've watched people play the Digimon TCG, and it looks kind of like every TCG. I should probably play 9 Souls. I've had that in my library thanks to Joel for a long time. And I just haven't gotten around to playing it. I should probably play Tunic. I've had that in my library for a very long time and just haven't gotten away along the lines of playing it. I've got a bunch of games like that. I never finished Cruelty Squad. But that game is actually genuinely really hard, so... that one I don't know if I'll go back to. Just because I'm not a huge fan of shooters anymore, really. What else could I play? I could play through Dungeon Siege again, I guess. One thing I really want is for the Alestral's online client to be pretty good. Because I enjoyed what little I have played of Alestral's. I kind of stopped playing it, but I have a sleeved deck right next to me in my hands, in fact. I just kind of stopped playing that because it was... You know, which Dungeon Siege? The first one. I stream... If you go back in my videos a long time, you'll find a full playthrough of Dungeon Siege, the original one, and a full playthrough of Dungeon Siege 2 without the DLC at the end. And there was a reason I didn't include the DLC at the end, and this is because there was somebody in my chat who I really didn't want to have in the video. So, there's that. But I never played through the expansion pack for the first game on stream. I did it on Discord a little bit, but I never actually, like, showed it on any actual thing. I didn't stream myself playing Atlas, but I had a lot of fun with it. I will say that much. I would recommend it if you can get past the proportion issue. Yeah, no, Alestral's is fun, but I just haven't gotten super deep into it yet. I prefer when I don't have to pay a huge amount of money for card games, and the online client seems to just have every card be available, so... You should stream web fishing for all the fishes. I haven't played web fishing yet either, that's true. RPGs, I can't recommend Pillars of Eternity 2. I have not heard of that, but I might look it up. What else have we got? Silk Song should come out within the next century, so that might be a game I'll play. I could do another run through of Monster Sanctuary, though I feel like if you've been following me since my Twitch days, you've probably seen enough of that. Sorry, I see PoE and I think Path of Exile. Which I know Path of Exile number was pretty recent. Kiwi? Okay, Joel. When did you send me that game again? That was a while ago, too. Joel buys me too many games, I think is what we've established here today. Silk Song is next week, what do you mean? Oh my goodness, Hollow Knight Silk Song, just a week away. Just a week away. But yeah, I just need to come up with something that I'm actually, like, invested in. Because... making Limbus content, you know? And you've played, like, 2? Oh, bold of you to assume that I've played any of them. I started Tunic one day to get it onto my OBS, and then I just never played it. I haven't played Tunic. I haven't played... Game number 2. What the heck? Home Safety Hotline. I haven't played 9 Souls. I haven't played Kiwi. I haven't played... I'm sure there's a 5th one. Because there's no way there's not a 5th one. But that's not the point. I still have Tunic installed, actually. No, my point is just, like, I haven't felt the want to play stuff. And that's my own trouble. I don't want to get too into that. But I buy a new game and then I just don't want to play it sometimes. Which is partly my issue, right? Anyways, that was a pretty long tangent, wasn't it? Silksong? Yeah, I should buy Silksong and then not play it. That's a good idea. Oh yeah, wasn't Crowsworn supposed to come out next year? That should be cool. No, I got Darkwood for free. That one time that they had it for free. That definitely wasn't you. But yeah, I guess this is a pretty good spot to stop then. Don't be surprised if I don't get the video out for the new Ego very quickly or at all, because I just haven't felt the want to make videos really that much recently. I'll probably stream Vulpurgisnacht when it comes out. Have you tried Gunfire Reborn before? Yes, and I didn't really like it. Because it's just, you know, one of those games. Sometimes it happens. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'm gonna go probably do my Limbus hard mode run to do it for the day. Get that stuff registered in my compendium, because I want to watch a video while I do it. And then I might do something else later tonight, but I appreciate you all coming out regardless. I hope you had a good Christmas, and I hope you have a great rest of your year.